afternoon, everybody. How y'all doing? Pretty good here, and welcome to the channel. Hey, I want to do something a little different today. I was curious, can my Tundra, and I have a 2019 Toyota Tundra SR5 TSS package, off-road, two-wheel drive. And I was curious, can I do a burnout in this truck? I don't know. For me, there's two big reasons that I buy a vehicle typically, or two things that I look for, I guess, when it comes to the power of the vehicle I'm looking for. And I like trucks that have power. You know, I want it to go when I want it to go. So I thought today we're going to take it out. I'm going to do a couple runs, couple drive-bys, things like that, over the camera, in front of the camera, around the camera, and see just what does my Tundra have. Now, before I show you guys that, it is the 4.6 liter. Now, I opted for that because I wanted to try it out really before it disappeared, because now they're gone. You can't get a 4.6 liter motor in the Tundra anymore, not new. You'd have to go used. They're gone. Otherwise, your only option is the 5.7. Until the refresh, it's not really a refresh, the remodel comes out with the V6 twin turbo, electric assist, who knows? Lots of rumors out there. But I wanted to try out the 4.6, assuming that it had enough power when I went to test drive it. So, I did test drive it, obviously, and I bought it because we're sitting in it right now. And the only shortcoming I saw in my test drive with the 4.6 as compared to the 5.7, because I did drive them back to back before I bought this truck, was the pickup, or the guts, on the entrance ramp on a freeway. When I did my test drive, I took them both out. I went the same route. One part of the route was kind of an incline going up a ramp to get on the freeway, and I floored it. And I did notice a bit less power in the 4.6 as compared to the 5.7 in my little scientific test. But that's the only place I noticed it. Otherwise, the truck felt perfectly fine, and I decided that that wasn't enough difference for me to discount getting the 4.6, because otherwise it felt identical to me to the 5.7 as far as power went. Now, I realize that if you're towing stuff or whatever, obviously the 5.7 would be better because it's got more oomph. And anytime you're doing anything, you want to have as much oomph as you can get to do the job. So, I got to thinking today, actually, on my way to a store, I want to do a little video. We're going to find a road, you know, off of the beaten path where I can put a camera down and floor it. Now, I'm not talking about the kind of burnout where you hold the brake down and punch it to the floor so that the wheels are going to spin. I mean, obviously it would do that. It's going to break free if you do a test like that. I wasn't looking to do something like that. I think most trucks, most V8 trucks out there would do a burnout if you did something like that. I'm talking about you're sitting still, you take your foot off the brake, you put your foot on the gas, and you stomp it, like immediately, right? No hesitation, brake to gas, stomp it to the floor. Will it burn out? So that's what we're going to do, along with a few drive-bys, like I mentioned, and we're going to see. So here's the footage from my test, as well as the drive-bys in the truck, just because I think they're cool. And we're going to see if indeed I can do a burnout in this truck, the 4.6 liter Toyota Tundra, from a dead stop without pushing the brake to the floor. Here we go. I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed. I had thought in driving this truck around, experiencing it day to day, that indeed I would be able to get a burnout from a dead stop. Now, I will say the road I was on was rather coarse, so obviously I would get more traction with these tires on a coarse road than I would on a road that was smooth, let's say. So maybe that had a little bit to do with it. I'm not going to cop out and go with that. I'm going to say, for the record, right here, that the 4.6 liter Toyota Tundra, and this is a 2019, does not have enough power to do a standing burnout without applying the brake. That was rather disappointing for me. Now, I will say, and this is true with almost any car out there, but it's worth mentioning, when you're at a stop and you're going to make a turn, so you're going to crank the wheel one way or the other to turn from the stop, and you get on it, the tires will break free. So you could do a little bit of we'll call that the sideways burnout, if you do something like that. But, like I said, most cars, most vehicles, even the gutless ones will do that, because you're putting a lot more force down on the car by turning the wheels than if you just start out from the stop where it's free rolling. So I'm a little disappointed there. I haven't watched the footage back to see what the drive-bys look like. It'll be interesting to see and hear what the truck looks like on the road, so you guys and I will be watching that at the same time here in a minute. Now, I do recall, because I did have the 5.7 liter Crew Max. It was the SR5 Limited, I believe. That was the cement truck that a lot of you have probably seen on the channel or on Instagram pictures or whatever. I did have that truck, and I will tell you that motor would do a standing burnout. Again, without applying the brakes, just taking your foot off the gas and nailing it. Now, how do I know that? Because I had a long driveway in the house I was at before where I am now, and it never failed. When I would leave in the mornings to go to work or whatever, I would get on the gas to head down it was a 1,000-foot long driveway. So I hit the gas to go, and they would break free. Now, the one difference there between what I did here, again on a pretty coarse road, is my driveway there was pretty slick. It was not coarse. Let's put it that way. It didn't have a lot of exposed stones or anything in it, because I would seal it every year or two, which on top of that would make it a little bit oily. If you've ever been around a freshly sealed or a sealed driveway at all, and then it gets hot outside, those driveways get a little bit oily rather, once they heat up. So may not be exactly a fair comparison, but I got to report it as I saw it, and that was my experience with the other truck. And potentially this one might behave the same way on that kind of a surface. I'm not sure. Obviously, if it's wet outside and I floored the truck from a stop, I fully expect it would peel out. I mean, it's wet, right? Not much difference than being on snow or ice, which obviously it would lose traction. So anyway, I just wanted to get on here, do a little bit of a burnout test, see if I could get this truck to burn out from a dead stop. Again, as you saw in the video, the answer is no. A little disappointing for me. Not enough to not have gotten the truck. I mean, it still has plenty of power offline. It gets up and goes. Never feels lacking unless you're trying to do a burnout. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Are these things important to you guys? But they're fun, aren't they? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time on the web. Have a great day. Bye.